Starting your own caregiver service business, Part 1. You might think that it's difficult to start your own caregiver service business. The fact is, it is not as difficult as you might think. As long as you are motivated, caring, and ethical, there is nothing that can stop you from creating a great caregiver service business. One of the first questions that people ask when they are considering starting a business of any kind is, where do I start? If you are going to start your own caregiver service business, your first order of business is to become a nationally certified caregiver with the American Caregiver Association, the national certifying and accrediting organization for caregivers. But why should you obtain caregiver certification? Because it does several things for you. First, when you are ready to start recruiting clients, one of the first questions that family will ask is whether or not you are a certified caregiver. A client, their family, or another person overseeing the care of a family member or friend is likely to be skeptical about your qualifications and abilities to perform the duties required if you lack caregiver certification. Secondly, family, friends, and other loved ones want peace of mind, knowing that whoever is caring for their loved one will be providing the best quality care that they deserve. This starts with the assurance that you are a nationally certified caregiver. Third, without national caregiver certification, you lack credibility, and a client or their family is unlikely to hire you. The fact is, there is an expectation that you have some training or education to do what you are doing. Otherwise, they would not be looking to hire you in the first place. So do not put yourself in a negative position right off the start by failing to obtain national caregiver certification with the American Caregiver Association. Fourth, when you acquire national caregiver certification, you garner respect in the industry. When others ask if you are certified, you can proudly say, "Yes, I am certified with the American Caregiver Association." It is also important to point out that your certification gains you entry into the National Caregiver Registry, or NCR. The NCR is what prospective clients will check when wanting to verify your credentialing with the American Caregiver Association. Now, a key to your success from this point forward is providing you with a series of action steps to guide you to where you want to go in achieving your goal of starting your own caregiver business. What is important to understand at this point is that gathering a lot of information and doing nothing with it will accomplish nothing. While this is a straightforward concept, you might be surprised to learn how many people simply collect a lot of information about a topic with the intent of doing something about it, but never do anything beyond their research. Action steps are intended to get you both focused and motivated. More critically, action steps are intended to break the cycle of information gathering without action. Having said this, we want and expect you to take every single piece of information that we provide you and use it in a concrete way by taking the initiative on your action steps. This is where real life-changing value happens. Do not sit back and expect things to just happen. Make your time count on this earth. So, without further ado, let us dig into your first of 3 action steps. Action Step 1. Get your National Caregiver Certification on our website at www.americancaregiverassociation.org. The caregiver certification process is quick, affordable, and we are proud to say that the service you will get from the ACA is the best you are going to get anywhere. Okay, you have acquired your National Caregiver Certification. Now what? Well, by this time, you may have begun to ask some additional questions about what you need to do or have. In particular, you might be asking whether or not you need a high school diploma, GED, or even a college degree to start your own caregiver service business. The answer is no to all of these. In fact, many people believe that they need some type of formal education prior to starting their own caregiver service business. The truth is, all you need is compassion, drive, and a lot of perseverance. And really, this is the case with anything that you do in life. This brings us to Action Step 2. Get CPR and First Aid Certification. CPR and first aid training and certification can be acquired through any number of organizations. Probably the most well-known organizations that provide this type of training are the American Red Cross and the American Heart Association. CPR and first aid certification typically cost between $50 and $70. You will need to check on the going rates in your area. Action Step 3. Get a tuberculosis or TB test. Typically, TB tests are a requirement nearly anywhere you go in the healthcare industry, and you should consider getting one even if you are working as a self-employed caregiver. You should be able to obtain a TB test from your primary care physician for somewhere between $20 and $30. The good news with these costs is that you should be able to deduct them as business expenses. But as always, check with your accountant or tax preparer to make sure that these costs can be deducted. Now let's review your action steps. Action Step 1. Get your National Caregiver Certification. Action Step 2. Get CPR and First Aid Certification. Action Step 3. Get a TB test. In Part 2 of our series on starting your own caregiver service business, we are going to explore what kind of money you might expect to make as the owner of a caregiver service company. We will also look at how much you should charge for your services. So stay tuned.